All right, it's Wednesday, or as they say in Egypt, Wednesday. Got a great show for you guys, live call-ins. Make sure you call in 1-855-236-3228 if you want, if you're available. Talking a ton of college football playoff update. Got to get off my lawn today. It's just going to be a lot of fun. But before we hop in there, I've got to get something off my chest.
What you got over there today?
I don't get the Taylor Swift hype.
You don't?
No.
The Taylor Swift hype?
I don't get it. No, I don't get it. I'm glad producer Justine finally saw it my way.
Did not.
I'm not saying she's not talented. I think she's talented. But I don't think she's superstar talented. This has nothing to do with what she believes politically or any of that. Because I think Adele is unbelievably talented. Like, that is superstar talent. I just think Taylor Swift is just average. She's not a great dancer.
As what? Okay,
like as a total performer. She has a good voice. Taylor Swift has a good voice. She don't have the best voice.
No, she's not Adele voice.
Yeah, no.
But like about the songwriting, though.
As the songwriting, but I mean, again, if I make a song called The Itsy Bitsy Spider, and then all my other songs are basically another version of The Itsy Bitsy Spider, I mean, again, talented, but it's not the top level. I just think she got the mix just right at the right time. That's what I think. I mean, you have a whole generation of girls that were in high school crying about the same stuff Taylor Swift was, because apparently she got broken up with the most random white guy names ever of all time every month. Jeff and Todd. She's like, this month Steven's mom said I was a bad influence. It's just the same stuff over and over again. Again, average. She's not, like, when I think of superstars, like, I think of like Prince and like people that are legit. I think Taylor Swift is like a good Applebee's in your hometown. You know, it's good food. It's not gonna be a 3-star Michelin restaurant. It shouldn't be the superstar restaurant that everybody's coming into town to eat at. I know some people live in towns where Applebee's is the best restaurant.
Look, we're not gonna start this show by hating on Applebee's.
I'm not hating on Applebee's. I'm just saying Taylor Swift to me is the Applebee's of music.
2-for-1 appetizers.
That just shows you, as long as you write your own material, you have a shot. And I say the same thing about singers and songwriters as I do about filmmakers. Like, this is Quentin Tarantino, right? Quentin Tarantino was like, I want to direct films, so I'm going to write my own stuff. Yes. And you know what? I think I'll act in them too. Yeah. And when you write great material, people will let you do a lot. And she wrote a lot of great songs, especially early on.
She has her lane, and I get it. It's just this superstar status. I just feel like, man, I don't know. I just don't get it. And some people love her. Like our friend Jordan Rogers, huge Swiftie.
Oh, she's the leader of a cult for sure.
Like, yeah, I'm
just
like,
Swifties are diehard. Like diehard.
Yeah.
Well, maybe the most diehard fans out there, if you really think about it. I think she's a leader of the Illuminati, to be honest. But that's just.
Why do you say that?
I don't know. It's something about her face. And I read it.
NFL coaches are already raving about the comparisons between Caleb Williams and Patrick Mahomes. The Lakers take game 1 from the Warriors, and the Knicks even their series with the Heat. I'm Jake Crain. It's Hump Day. Welcome to Crain & Company. Yesterday, an anonymous high-level quarterback coach said that Caleb Williams is a refined Patrick Mahomes. And while I love Caleb's game and he's super talented, and they do have some similarities, there are a couple things very, very wrong with that statement. The first, being refined insinuates better. The actual definition reads, developed or improved so as to be precise or subtle. So are you saying that Caleb Williams is more precise than Patrick Mahomes? Because that's not true. The dude's basically Hawkeye when it comes to accuracy. But the biggest problem with this comparison is that Mahomes' game is too complex to be considered refined, or that being used as a knock against him. The true beauty of Patrick's game is in his ability to improv and make spectacular plays using techniques that aren't exactly coached or really coachable. His ability to pick you apart in the pocket, Then go Ryan Stiles outside of the pocket, propels his greatness, and separates him. Now, I'm operating under the auspices of this quarterback coach is comparing them in college. But even that comparison is off. Caleb has an incredible arm, super strong. But Patrick Mahomes has a legitimate cannon attached to his shoulder. His arm's different than a lot we've ever seen. Now, we as people and in the media have a tendency during talking season to make wild comparisons. And while Caleb is going to be great, I think, and somebody's going to tank to get him, let's not compare him to the ultimate witch just yet. I'm going to go and bring in David Cohn, former Michigan quarterback, knows a little bit about being precise. And my brother, former Western State Colorado wide receiver, is precisely himself. And that matters a lot.
Acceptable.
Yeah.
Acceptable.
There you go. David, I'll start with you here. I just don't like, if you wanted to say that there are some similarities between the way that Caleb Williams and Patrick Mahomes play and operated in college, and even the way Patrick plays today, I could see that. I can understand that. I agree with that. But to use the word refined, and I don't want to get too deep into the details, but SportsCenter's the one who tweeted this out. They're not going to get some run-of-the-mill coach that they just found that said this. They either made it up, or this is a high-level coach that actually said this. We know a bunch of the guys that have worked with quarterbacks through the days that go on ESPN and talk all the time. Using the word refined, that's like looking at one of these abstract paintings and being like, oh, well, it's a more refined version of Andy Warhol. That's not the point, and that's not what makes it what it is.
You would think for these guys who escape the pocket so well and do all these different things from the quarterback position, refined wouldn't even be a word really to use for either of them. It's electric playmaking is what I think of. So it was weird to even see that word in there. But I'll say the same thing I did when we were talking about the NFL coach who talked about C.J. Stroud's S2 test. There's a reason these guys remain anonymous.
That's
they're
exactly
getting these
right.
quotes and they remain anonymous. But I love comparing Caleb Williams and Patrick Mahomes. And I don't think it's too early to be having the conversations for a few different reasons. 3 big comparisons for me. 1, their ability to escape the pocket. We know that, right? Well, congratulations. A lot of guys are doing that these days. 2, they make big plays down the field in big-time moments. Again, a lot of players do that. Drake May at North Carolina is doing that. It's number 3 for me, their ability to throw off platform and make these circus plays. Now, again, a lot of guys try that. And then they end up throwing a pick 6. And it's going the other way. These guys seem to be able to throw off platform in the right situations and make the big time play. And I don't see that slowing down for Caleb Williams. Now, the most important thing when you're going up to any level, if you're going from high school to college or college to the NFL, is are you going to take that next step in development? Caleb Williams is not good enough right now to be an elite NFL quarterback. Patrick Mahomes took that next step in his development, and now he's the best in the game. But Caleb Williams is well on his way for those reasons that we talked about, and he does already have a Heisman Trophy. In his trophy case. And I pulled some clips here, too, if we have a couple plays, if you guys want to break down at some point. But, just comparing them, the styles.
Well, there is, stylistically, there are, I can totally see that avenue. Let's run a clip right here. Here's Caleb Williams. Let's go ahead and run it. I believe this is against Washington State or Oregon State?
That's Utah.
Utah. Okay, there we go. Let's run the clip.
In that victory against Washington State.
You can see him here. Eyes are downfield. It's great protection. See him working up. This looks like Patrick. Here he goes.
Even the way he runs.
Well, the thing is that they're like sneakily athletic when they run, right? They're not burners. You see him working in the pocket, keeping his eyes downfield, off-platform throw off the back foot. And that's a big-time throw in between the corner and the safety. But looking at Patrick right now, I wouldn't term that refined. Like it's like Ozzie Smith, right? The great, amazing shortstop for the Cardinals. Well, would I sit here and say, oh, well, Ozzie Smith was really refined? No, he wasn't. What made him great was he could make incredible plays off platform. Derek Jeter, the throw to first, the jump it up, fade and away throw. It's just, I don't like that word when you're comparing these two guys. Some guys you can use it, but I just don't like it here. And we have Patrick Mahomes against Oklahoma. Is this the game where they had like 1,800 total yards of offense?
Yeah, it was like 1,700. I think I don't even know if it was it total offense or passing yards.
It was an inordinate amount. Let's run this clip of Patrick Mahomes. out of 10 personnel.
Again, they rush only 4.
Trips open.
Flushing from the pocket.
Look at this.
Mahomes retreating.
Yeah.
So
This dude's just an animal.
his feet, heaving one downfield for a first down. I mean, what can you
3rd and
say?
12.
Can you stop
But as a defensive coordinator, this makes me want to puke. So, Blaine, looking at this, when I think we've already established a baseline of there is some comparabilities here, but
For sure.
What are your thoughts on the word refined when it comes to talking?
I don't like
about it?
using that for either of these guys.
Yeah.
At all. That's not the word I would use, especially when they're in college. One, I think they're both extremely good at controlling chaos, right? Even no matter how hectic it is on the field, both of them seem, one, cool, calm, and collected, and the moment's never too big for either. I mean, you made some good points. Caleb Williams does have a great arm. Patrick Mahomes is one of those guys who you could take the pads off, put a baseball uniform on, and put him on the mound and throw 93 plus. Like stuff like that's just a little bit different. Patrick's always been, even go back to those college days, been able to throw the hell out of the football. That's fine. I think Caleb's a better runner, for sure. I think Caleb's shown that throughout his career. But if I had to pick one, right, coming out of college, and that's what the poll is today, who would I draft first? Not knowing what Patrick Mahomes has done in the NFL, I know that's hard to say and do at the same time, but I'm probably taking Caleb Williams coming out of college just from that aspect of running.
Yeah.
I mean, Patrick went 10th. You got to remember when Patrick was there. You can nitpick this a lot if you want to, but this is when the air raid really started, right? Well, was still hot out there. Now, air raid, you look at the air raid game now in college, it doesn't surprise you. You aren't surprised by it. But these guys basically really refined and started the air raid. Patrick, obviously generational talent. I think Caleb Williams coming out of college, which I think he'll go top 2, if I could guess. Someone will take for him. I wouldn't be surprised if the Titans did again, even after taking Will Levis. But I would take Caleb coming out of college, for sure.
I don't think that's a crazy thing to say if you take off what Patrick has done. I will say this, RIP to our friend of the show, Mike Leach. Him and Hal Mummy invented the air raid at Iowa Wesleyan. So let's make sure.
He was, was this Kingsbury or Leach 2016 at Tech?
I want to say it was
Kingsbury, wasn't it?
It was Cliff.
Okay.
It was Cliff. But, I mean, Cliff has a lot of air raid principles in what he does, which, you know, the godfathers of it were Mike Leach and Hal Mummy.
Cliff Kingsbury was the head coach at Texas Tech from 2013 to 2018. This game here was 16, I believe. Yeah, 2016. And that Oklahoma-Texas Tech game, they combined for 1,708 total yards.
That is just an inordinate amount. Absolutely crazy. We want to know in the comments, who are you drafting? Would you take Patrick Mahomes without knowing what he did in the NFL off his college tape, or would you take Caleb Williams? I think it is a great question to ask. But there's another great question that gets asked, and I have a great answer. Hey, Jake, I hear y'all talk about sports betting all the time. I live in a place where I bet, but I don't really have a go-to sportsbook. Which one's the best one? Well, this is the easiest answer I've ever seen. It's DraftKings Sportsbook, and it's not even close. We got the chase for the NBA titles in full swing. We've had some incredible games, including last night. Lakers and Warriors was unbelievable. And DraftKings is the official sports betting partner of the NBA and the NHL. They've got the game surrounded. I mean, it's a pure siege at this point. So you need to download the app right now and sign up with our code BOOSTER. That's BOOSTER, because new customers can make a $5 bet and score $150 in bonus bets.
Wow.
Instantly. Only at DraftKings Sportsbook with our code BOOSTER. So download that app now. Use that code. I'm telling you, I've been running up these same game parlays. If Arkansas wouldn't have looked me in the eyes and lost to Lipscomb last night, which I'll never bet on Arkansas baseball again, I'll bet on everything else Arkansas. Got no problem with Arkansas. I know it's a midweek game. People will say whatever, but you guys really, really disappointed me last night. Maybe that's why y'all can do nothing but be runner-up in the College World Series. But that's a story for another day.
I'm done with the Maple Leafs.
But download the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Use that code BOOSTER and have the time of your life.
I'm done.
Are you done?
Yeah.
I think you should bet him today.
No.
What you got today?
No,
Oh, you're going home. You're going home today.
You went double Nerfy hit yesterday.
I'm going to start living the life again.
Yeah, you're back on
You
it.
hit both
You're
those
off the
yesterday?
I'm
wagon.
going to start living the life again.
You're off the wagon?
Back on the Nerfy train. Just smooth sailing. Where's Blaine? Just out of sailboat.
They're gonna-
somewhere in Costa Rica, I bet.
We're gonna find Blaine like Lawrence Jones is gonna be going across the like as Lawrence Across America, and he's gonna go to Skid Row, and Blaine's gonna be there in like one of the tent cities. And they're like, "Sir, what is your addiction?" He's like, "Nerfies."
Yeah.
That's what it's gonna be. Let's get to the club.
All right, we got some donations in here. Booster Club, what is up? Let's get things started. First, let's start with Jake's Extra Strong Cologne.
It is extra
How
strong.
you smelling over there?
I like success.
Man, oh man, what an outstanding game one. We'll get to this between the Warriors and Lakers last night. Safe to say the winner of this series will win the NBA title? Yes or no?
I'm not going there yet.
Maybe.
Maybe
I like
it's a strong maybe.
All right, Jimbo Eagle, $5 donation. Ooh, boy, the tank for Caleb sweepstakes begins. Top bidders, Atlanta Falcons and Tennessee Titans.
I don't know if the Titans are going to be that bad. I don't know if they're going to be bad enough to get a top 5 pick.
I don't know, David. I think they're going to be pretty bad.
You think
What
so?
makes you think?
What makes you think they're going to be good?
They've been average with Ryan Tannehill. They've been average and above average. So if they don't trade Derrick Henry away and they don't just like wholesale trade the team, are they going to be one of the top 2 or 3 worst teams? You're going to have to be in the top 2 to get Caleb Williams and Drake May. I think they're going 1 and 2 next season.
I agree with that.
The Titans going to be one of the top 2 worst
Who's
teams.
going to be the top
league?
2? Who's going to be the top 2 worst teams in the NFL?
It's a good question. I mean, I think you were closer when you said the Falcons.
Falcons for sure. I can see the Falcons there.
I would say Falcons.
Could the Texans still be there even after drafting CJ?
Possibly. Let's see what
What
happens.
about the Commanders?
Again, that defense is good. I don't know
Chase
who's
Young
gonna,
didn't get exercise. Now he's been hurt more than a fat kid's feelings in high school. But it's I just don't. I love Jahan Dotson. I like
got good
B-Rob,
pieces.
Brian Robinson. They do have some pieces, but I don't know the Bucks.
Cardinals.
Like the
I
Bucks
don't
could
think
be
the Cardinals
bad.
will be that bad.
They won't be worse than the Titans.
No.
Somebody will surprise us. Somebody will
I
surprise
think
us.
Kyler
and be
can win the
terrible.
Cardinals more games than a receiver playing quarterback in the NFL can. To be honest, but that's just me. Let's go to Cole Frank with a $5 donation. Appreciate it, Cole. So, hey, Jakes, where's that song you promised to write?
Hey, look, it's already talked with Rhinoceros. It's done. I had to make a few adjustments yesterday. I found in the songwriting process that filler words really help.
Filler words?
Filler words.
It's not a good start.
Conjunction.
That's not a good start.
I'm not talking about just put a word.
I'm more excited about this than anyone in the Booster Club.
Yeah.
Because I want this to be one good and a passion of yours, so that I can have a new songwriting buddy.
Well, the way
that would be awesome for me.
The way I look at it is it's going to go one of 2 ways. One, everybody's going to be really impressed, or it's going to be bad and it's going to be hilarious.
No in between.
Well, hold on.
I don't think there's an in between.
But here's what even if it's bad, what shame is there in writing a bad song as your first one? I've written a bunch of bad songs.
For sure.
You write a bunch of bad ones, then you get to one that's decent. Then you write a couple decent ones, then you get to one that's pretty
Well,
good.
what I'm hoping to do,
No.
what I'm hoping to do is record it and then let Rhino do his thing like they do for all the other, like Taylor Swift, to make him sound way better than.
Oh, you mean auto-tune and all that kind of
Well,
stuff?
I mean, auto-tune, but there's other ways. Like there's other things. You like add some echo. Like I don't want it to sound
Like other instrument, like a band?
kinda.
Music. So music.
Add some
Yes.
echo.
So music.
Yeah. Look, I bring the words. to the
add some
table.
echo.
I'm pumped for this.
Yeah, it's gonna be funny.
Let's go to Jimbo Sliced Bread, $5 donation. A lot of Jimbos in the chat. The only Swift I will die on a hill for is DeAndre Swift.
Wow.
Dogs on top.
I love when you look me in the eyes and say that.
Dogs on top.
Be an Eagles fan.
All right, let's go to Trent Kelly. Who would y'all take, Drake May or Caleb Williams?
Like first overall, or right now in college, or
I mean,
I think Caleb Williams is going to go first overall. I think Drake May might win the Heisman though.
Yeah,
it's not a crazy take.
How
I
many
don't
games
think you
does
could
North
lose
Carolina
with
have to
that.
win though? Is this a 9 game? Is this like
Fine, I'll pull
What
it
did
up.
RG3
Robert Griffin
won it
the
with
third won 9 at Baylor situation? I don't know. How many games can North Carolina
Part of me,
win?
like my instinct. See, whenever I have to make a pick like this, and we'll get to this with Joel Embiid and them, I got to go with my instinct and my gut. My gut just tells me, Drake May. Let's remember, Drake May's really young still. Like he just watching him. And I know it's against App State, but like that was my first introduction really to Drake May, and I have been unbelievably impressed since. Unbelievable.
So kind of some key games. They got South Carolina week 1.
Yep.
They go to Clemson. They go to NC State, Miami at home. They go to Pittsburgh.
You'll have some
So
opportunity.
North Carolina opens with South Carolina
Correct.
at home.
Correct.
All right.
All right, let's go one more, and then we're gonna get into.
Cole Frink, $2 donation. Appreciate it, Cole. He says, cough, 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 cough. Excuses. Cough.
For
Your song.
my excuses.
Not being ready.
Maybe that's the title of it.
Yeah.
No, it's again. So I like to use the method my father used to call it the starvation technique.
Okay.
It's where you invite people over and you say, hey, we're gonna eat dinner at 6. Okay, so everybody gets there, you're ready to eat dinner at 6. All of a sudden, ribs aren't done till 6:45. Everybody's super hungry, thought they were gonna eat at 6, and it makes it taste better
tastes
because you're hungry.
better.
It's called the starvation technique, and it's very, very useful.
Interesting. I've never heard it put like that.
I
have heard it
I watched
say-
him flip the script on the Neighborhood so many times.
I've heard hunger is the best condiment. That's kind of similar, right? Like you don't need ketchup and mayonnaise.
What does hunger have to do with sex?
Next?
All right. Anyways, I got this email yesterday, guys. Look at this. A serial killer's after me. So someone else had a chest to the access to the paintball gun after Jeff. And they're going to send me another email today.
Who sent this to you?
I don't know, and I'm terrified.
Hold on. It says, quote, do not miss tomorrow's email. That's because you missed.
From American Sniper.
Yeah.
And we still have the paintball up there.
We still have the splatter evidence, obviously. We should keep
The
that.
splatter evidence?
The splatter report.
The blood splatter?
Someone
the blood
else
spatter?
had access to the paintball gun.
Okay, hold on. You said splatter.
Yeah.
Unless I'm losing my mind, isn't it blood? I'm not saying that you're wrong. It is splattered all over the wall. But you use the Dexter reference. That's blood spatter, not blood splatter.
Whatever.
I don't know. Maybe just because I want
Splatter to me.
Yeah.
All right. Tomato.
Potato.
Exactly.
Let's get into some playoffs.
Lakers, game 1 win over the Warriors. Anthony Davis really showed up. 30 and 23. What do you guys think about that?
You know, and I believe, I want to say it was last week. Maybe it was early this week, where we asked the question or made the statement, or both. Is Anthony Davis, when he takes over, the best player in the NBA? Like, I mean, just think about it. I know, take away, I'm talking when he's good. This is good Anthony Davis, healthy Anthony Davis, right? Who can do more things in the NBA at that size than Anthony Davis?
Mm-hmm.
Not Giannis. He doesn't shoot as well as Anthony Davis or handle the ball as well as Anthony Davis. People forget Anthony Davis was a guard in high school until he grew like got the beans from Jack and the Beanstalk and grew like a foot overnight and woke up and all of a sudden Coach Calipari is sitting in his living room. Like, or Coach K's in his bed, or standing by his bed just staring at him. Hey, good morning, Anthony. You want to play at Duke?
But the health has been the issue.
It has been the issue. But I'm just saying under the circumstance right now of Anthony Davis, I mean, you go for 30, 4 blocks, and 23 rebounds and 5 assists. I mean, good. That's a Lizzo-size lunch pail you're bringing. Well, is he the honest question, Blaine? Is Anthony Davis, pound for pound, when he is at the top, the best player in the NBA?
I mean, if he would stay healthy and play like this
I'm not
a lot
asking
more, I know
that.
you could have the conversation, for sure. But anything really Anthony Davis can do, Joel Embiid can do, right? You can say the same thing about Jokic. I would say Anthony's a little more athletic than Jokic, just from a scoring
I think he handles the
standpoint.
ball better.
Yeah,
than
from
Joel
a scoring.
Jokic.
I feel like Joel can handle the ball just as well as Anthony Davis, for sure. Especially, I think Joel's a better defender than Anthony Davis, especially on the perimeter, I would think. I think that's the reason why, one, he stayed healthy, and 2, that's why he won the MVP. But Anthony Davis, when he is playing at the top of his game, is in those conversations with the best center in the league, for sure. The Warriors found out quickly Sabonis wasn't walking out there yesterday.
Yeah. Well, I'm not even talking about center, Blaine. I'm talking about all positions. Because again, what I said this about Will Anderson Jr. Okay, if it's me and I'm taking a guy, I want to get the guy that's the best at the most stuff. Mm-hmm. Anthony Davis is what? Got a wingspan of 7'5", 7'6", can handle the ball like a guard. He can affect the rim like an all defensive team center. He can shoot the 3, he can shoot the mid-range, he can drive, he can move his feet, and he's pretty flexible in his hips. I mean, I'm looking, and the injury part, I get. I'm not asking if you draft Anthony Davis first right now in the NBA. But peak Anthony Davis, man, it's incredible. Dominant.
And he showed up last night. But
8 for 8 from the free throw line.
We're only a few games removed from that opening round game against Memphis where he goes out in the first half. And we said, oh, here he goes again. Is he going to miss the entire playoffs? He comes back in the second half of that game. I think he had 7 blocks against Memphis in that game or something. And then he puts up 30 and 23 yesterday and does things that only, I think, 4 or 5 Lakers centers all time have done. So can he stay healthy for the entire playoffs? Because if he can, we said this when we were yesterday when we were talking about LeBron and Steph and is this their final matchup, the most important piece of this is Anthony Davis. And can he stay healthy?
He's one of the most dominant college basketball players I've ever seen in my life, too.
For sure.
If it wasn't for Anthony Davis, Coach Cal wouldn't have won 1 national championship at Kentucky the whole time he's been there.
So what now for Golden State? You're going to host game 2 still. How do you solve this puzzle with Draymond Green and Looney, and what are you going to do?
Well, it's tough because even Looney got 23 rebounds.
I know.
Just Anthony Davis is so much more athletic than Looney. No one in that arena was stopping Anthony Davis last night. It just wasn't going to happen. I feel like Draymond Green has to play, one, smarter, and two, better. Draymond, you can't be getting 3 fouls in the first half. He's been fouled. He even came out in his presser and said he's been fouling way too much. Remember, I think Jordan Poole didn't play bad either.
Dropped 21?
Jordan showed up in big moments. But what was that kind of thing? Draymond's the engine that gets these guys going, especially getting in their tempo. So if Draymond defends better, scores at a little bit better clip, I'm not saying Draymond is going to come out here and drop 20 points, but is at least a little bit more aggressive towards the basket, I think the Warriors would be fine. It's going to be a long series, fellas.
It is.
Long series. Every game, it gets tougher and tougher to play the Warriors just from a conditioning standpoint. I thought the Lakers, especially on that last possession, on that transition drive, doubling Steph, forcing Jordan Poole to force that shot, is how you have to play it. At the end of the day, if you're going to beat me, it's not going to be Steph Curry, right? So I think the Lakers, this is big for them. Even if you lose this next game, you still won on the road, and I don't think LeBron played well at all. Even if he dropped a double-double.
There was some nuggets in that game, and when you look back and you look at the numbers, you're 100% right about Draymond Green. You can't have Draymond Green and Andrew Wiggins play bad together, okay? Not that Andrew played terrible, but, I mean, Wiggins ends up with 50. I like his matchup. I think Andrew Wiggins, on the offensive side, when you have Steph and Clay, you have a bigger-bodied guy that you're going to take. You're going to take the worst of the defenders, I think is the way to put it. But Andrew Wiggins ended up with 15 points. You had 2 turnovers and 6 rebounds. No assists,
Nope.
no steals,
That's where I was going.
no blocks. You went 1 for 5 from 3. This is in 34 minutes now, and 6 from 14. Draymond Green and Andrew Wiggins cannot not play well and then win this series. Steph hit 6 threes. Clay hit 6 threes. Jordan Poole hit 6 threes. Now, Steph did turn the ball over 5 times.
It's the first time in playoff history.
Yeah, that's something that people don't need to overlook, because when you have a game that comes down to multiple possessions, I'm with Blaine, but this is such a huge win for the Lakers, not just because you still won on the road, but coming off Steph's huge 50-point performance, what the Warriors have been able to accomplish with this core. I know LeBron doesn't need confidence and these other guys don't, but it's got to feel good knowing that those 3 guys hit 6 3-pointers and you found ways to win. Now, the Looney rebounding thing, I got to go back again and watch it. I believe he got a lot of those when Anthony Davis wasn't on the floor. I believe the Warriors kind of matched it to where they tried to get Kevon out there when Anthony wasn't out there a ton. But this one's going 7.
Yeah, well, either way, I agree with you that Andrew Wiggins' stat line's the one that stood out most for me for Golden State. He had 15 points, and the Warriors proved last year they can win a championship when Andrew Wiggins only has 15 points. They don't need him to make a lot of buckets, but 0 steals, 0 blocks, 0 assists, and 6 rebounds. Andrew Wiggins has to contribute in other areas. All right, let's go to the East here. Knicks survived the Heat. You know, even without Jimmy Butler in Game 2, the Heat had a chance there late. I mean, it was a tie game with, a minute and a half?
The Heat are the better team. The Heat are the better team. And it's shocking for me to say that, because I love Jalen Brunson, and I know the Knicks won yesterday, but the Heat didn't have Jimmy Butler. If they're going to be able to shoot like they shot yesterday, because they've just got hidden snipers everywhere. That's just who the Heat are. Duncan Robinson. Right, you look at him, he got a little Jared Goff in him, looks like, Gabe Vincent, who is absolutely moisturizer from behind the line. Strus was hitting threes. When their role guys play well, Jimmy's a maniac. He's going to drop at least 30, probably in every game he plays in when he's healthy for the Heat. But just the Martin, watching Martin hit threes, the Heat are dangerous, man. The Knicks had to fight, scratch, claw, and Brunson had to come through late, which he does a lot, for them to win that second game at home, or they'd be down 2 games going back to Miami. And you're going into Miami, they've got nothing to lose. You've got 7 undrafted guys on your team.
Yeah.
They're just an old school, they're like the Diet Celtics to me a little bit. Not that the Celtics have a bunch of undrafted guys, but they kind of got that old school flavor to them. The Celtics kind of got to where they were by being physical, right? Even Jason Tatum's physical. Jaylen Brown's physical. Al Horford's physical. Marcus Smart is the definition of physical at the guard position. But, man, I think the Heat are the better team. They're going to win this series.
Well, if you're the Knicks, a win's a win, but it wasn't pretty, especially without Jimmy Buckets, because if you say Jimmy Buckets can't cover 6 points, because that's what you won by, then I'll show you a liar. But the thing with me is this: in this game, the Heat's biggest guy really who plays is Bam Adebayo, 6'9". All right, Mitchell Robinson's a 7-footer. You got to start getting him involved. I mean, he ends up with 6 points and only five boards. Mitchell Robinson could be a difference for you in this series at the end of the day, because if you can control the paint, you can control people driving to the baskets. It's going to completely alter a series. I'll live if you beat me by just relying on the three. You know what? I'll live with that. At the end of the day, I will.
The Suns?
Yeah, that's fine. Just like the Celtics, basically, too. But Mitchell Robinson has to start getting more involved for this Knicks team. Brunson, great scorer. Barrett, great scorer. Randall, great scorer. But on the defensive side, that's why I think Mitchell Robinson, especially on the offensive rebounding side, Mitchell Robinson can make a difference.
Yeah, he had some early foul trouble, but I want to make sure we give some credit to Hartenstein, man. Like, I didn't even know who this guy was before the season, but yesterday for the Knicks, I mean, oh boy, only scored 3 points, ends up with 9 rebounds, an assist, a steal, a block. He had to come in for Mitchell. He played 26 minutes. Mitchell Robinson only played 21, but he did get in that early foul trouble. But that is the mismatch. If you get Bam Adebayo in foul trouble for the Heat, they are in big trouble. Because then it's Kevin Love.
Yeah.
That's it.
I
like Kevin.
I love Kevin, but
let's be honest.
He can only do so much.
Is offensive. So the Knicks, they better wake up and they better figure out a way. But speaking about waking up, y'all know I love coffee. I don't even know if caffeine does anything to me anymore. All right, I think it may be a placebo effect. We all drink coffee. We enjoy it. And there's only one coffee company that does it perfectly right. And that's our friends over at Black Rifle. All right, you have the ready-to-drink cans that come in vanilla bomb, salted caramel, mocha, and vanilla caramel. That's 200 milligrams of caffeine, and there's even more flavors than that. It's a veteran-founded coffee company operated by principled men and women who honor those who protect, defend, and support our country. And with every purchase you make, they give back. So you can save money and drink America's coffee. Go to blackriflecoffee.com, use promo code BOOSTER, that's BOOSTER, at checkout for 10% off your one-time purchase or your first coffee club order. The Booster Club's repping Black Rifle. Get it through your head. Make it understand. That's blackriflecoffee.com. Promo code BOOSTER for 10% off. You can also find Black Rifle Coffee in grocery and convenience stores near you, but we'd love for you to order it online with our Booster code. Black Rifle Coffee, America's coffee. What do you got over there, David? Let me guess.
Gunship.
Oh,
use promo code BOOSTER. Do it now.
Guess what? Laziness, just like with the AC-130, when you hear it, you're dead.
Yeah, sorry you don't have Lava Panther over there by your chair today, because I opened that one yesterday.
You did?
Yeah. I was trying
you got to tell me how it is.
That one. Oh, it's phenomenal. It's one of my favorite ones. By Lucky Power Llama over there.
What's the update on the Flaming Dragon brew?
What did you open yesterday?
Lava Panther.
And who gave you permission to do that, David?
Well, you stole the Texas Tech hat from the set.
Exactly.
Stole it.
Yes.
Free game.
No, it's for the studio. They sent it to the set, and you just take
Laura B's going to send some more.
Selfish.
I feel it.
There you go.
Took the guns up hat.
And it was the best one. Let's not beat around the bush.
No,
here.
that thing was elite. Elite hat.
Blaine saw that and instantly knew.
Me and Dave talked about it.
It's like driving. It's like
We're
driving.
going to share time.
It's like John Dillinger driving past a bank. Like he just looked at him and was like, "Oh, I'm stealing that."
Don't accuse me of bank robbery, please.
Look, you call it whatever you want.
Please don't do that.
Tomato. What's going on in the club?
All right, Jimbo Eagle, $2 donation. He said, what are our thoughts on Joel Embiid winning the MVP?
That's what was next.
Yep.
What a transition.
You know, we talked about this last night. We were texting back and forth. I don't think there's this huge gap at all between Joel Embiid and Jokic. I think Joel Embiid, when it comes to offense and defense combined, is a better player than Jokic. But Jokic does not get hurt as much as Joel Embiid does. So whenever I have a situation like this, I go back to what I said about, Caleb Williams and Patrick Mahomes coming out of college. I've got to go off instinct. And my instinct tells me that Joel Embiid is the better player. Not that Jokic is amazing. Amazing. I thought he was going to win the MVP, and he would have deserved it. But I think Joel Embiid deserves it too. Mm-hmm. He's an incredible player. They're both incredible players at that size. I've got no problem. It's not because anybody on the board's white or black like Kendrick Perkins, who wants to say that stupid stuff they say over there, that 4-letter network. But I really believe that you cannot go wrong picking either one of these two. And I'll be honest with you, I like the way they both handle themselves off the court. We always talk about how Jokic just goes and rides horses, doesn't have a cell phone. No, Joel Embiid, he's had some off the court stuff, just talking competitive stuff, but he's not going out there getting arrested or hitting women or anything like that. I mean, I've got no problem with Joel winning.
These foreign athletes these days, I think they have more of a respect for playing
they know the real
athletics
thing,
in America than a lot of Americans do. But that's a different conversation. Even though I will say, Joel Embiid, don't wear the Balenciaga on the court side. Don't wear the Balenciaga court side. Not a good look right now.
Yeah.
Blaine, you watch these guys throughout the regular season. Joel Embiid, I think we saw some stats. He was the first guy to average 31 points, or the most points averaged since Michael Jordan won his MVP. I think the one in the late 80s. And then Embiid, first guy with 30 and 10 and 50% field goal percentage since Moses Malone in like 81.
I'll tell you, it's in Moses.
Moses was pretty talented.
What do you think? Should Jokic have gone 3 straight, or was this Joel Embiid's time?
It's such a Spider-Man GIF situation to me, right? Like, I don't feel like you could go wrong with, it's almost pick your poison, right? I think Joel is somewhat of a better defender than Jokic.
I agree with
that. I think Jokic is a better passer than Joel. I think Jokic can somewhat fit in a system better than Joel. Joel, I think, faced up, even in the post, I think is a better scorer. I think both of them could shoot the 3. Both of them are absolute trees. But I don't mind the pick. The thing with me is I would rather have a little bit better defense and a little bit better passing. So if it's me, I'm going with Joel. Probably. I think Joel in the paint is a little bit more of an enforcer. I'm not saying Jokic is a finesse guy, right? Because I don't think he is. But when it comes down to it, I think I want that guy's a little bit better defense, and he can be worse at passing. Because I think Jokic is averaging almost 10 pass assists a game?
Yeah. Something like
right?
that.
Something like that. And you can't go wrong with picking either of these guys, right? It's like, hey, let me get Tom Brady or Patrick Mahomes. Like, it's a win-win situation.
Yeah, and I think Joel gets hurt because he plays more of a high-flying style of basketball. You see Jokic, I'm not talking about just, dunking. He's 8 feet tall. He can just basically stand there and dunk. But you don't see Jokic flying around.
It's kind of like Dirk used to play.
Yeah.
It's kind of like Dirk. Just go about your business. The quietest 30 and 15 game you've ever seen. I'm going 30 and 15. The world's going to know about it.
Let me see how many right decisions.
Right after the game.
Jokic always makes the right decision with the ball.
Exactly.
He really does.
Exactly. Hey, and if they keep playing the way they are, it wouldn't be impossible to see this matchup in the finals.
I would love.
It wouldn't be impossible to see this matchup in the finals. And that gets us to Celtics 76ers here. Game 2, Joel Embiid still doubtful. The Celtics are down 1-0 in this series, but it's still in Boston. How you guys see this one going?
Well, to quote, to the Chin Pokemon slogan off
I don't
South
know what
Park,
you're talking
if you're the Celtics, you have to hop it. You have to hop it. You can't lose 2 in a row.
You can't.
Especially at home.
And if Embiid comes back in Philly?
Yeah, if I'm the Sixers, if I'm Doc, Joel's not playing this game. He's just not. He's not. He already stole one.
They said it won't affect his status. He said he's still doubtful, and they're trying to get him to play.
Of course. I mean, and some NBA coaches.
But coaches never lie.
And yeah, they never lie. Definitely, they never lie.
Why would they?
You've already stolen one on the road. The Celtics can come out for blood tonight now. Like it's they know you have veteran guys that they get the importance of this game. That place is going to be rocking. Kind of like the Knicks, right? Last night, back against the wall a little bit, had to have it. And if you're Philly, you're playing loose and free, which is dangerous when you got guys like Maxey. And we know, I don't think James Harden's dropping 45 again. I would be surprised if he shoots that well from 3. I like the Celtics probably big tonight. But if you're Philly, I mean, you already went in there and snatched the steak in the remote.
The line's 10.
I'm worried for the Celtics. This is a must-win. You must win this game because if you lose this one and you go back to Philly and Joel Embiid comes back, it's not getting any easier, right? It's not like Joel Embiid's top five scorer in the NBA, right? And the Celtics rely too much on the 3. Their defense is not as good as they were last year, and they got good defenders, right? I mean, you go through it. Smart, great defender. White, good defender. I want Tatum and Jaylen Brown to play better defense. I think they both can play better defense. I wanted to see someone when James was doing what he's doing, like, I got him.
Yeah.
I got him. Didn't see that from anyone. The thing about James Harden was this. We're not seeing James move by people like he did. You could tell James Harden just came off 10 days of rest in that game. He was flying by people.
It looked like old Houston Rockets James Harden.
Right? So if James still that same guy in this, it's going to be tough because once James starts thinking in his head, you know what? I'll do it. All right, then you're going to be in trouble. So if they can stop James Harden, they have to win this game because if they bring Joel Embiid back and James Harden playing the way he's playing, It's not going to be easy.
And when you look at the Sixers, and if you kind of look at the Celtics, when it came down to that moment on stopping James, that the unfortunate part for the Celtics was the coach said, "Yeah, we got the guy. Let's put Al Horford on him."
And poor Al.
He dated Aaron Andrews. There's no way James Harden's scoring against this guy.
And Al's a great defender.
He's not on the perimeter though.
Well, especially now on the perimeter, he's James Harden.
Yeah, that's my point. Like against a big, yes, Al can go big for big. It's like a linebacker guarding a tight end. Yeah, like it's kind of samesies, right? It's same but different, but still same.
Mm-hmm.
You don't put him out on a guard.
Put a DN on a slot.
Because if I'm Al Horford, what scares me to death when I'm guarding James Harden on the perimeter? When you're up by 1, getting beat on the drive. Because James Harden has an unbelievable floater. Okay, he's able to draw fouls better than just about anyone there is out there. And guess what? I would have lived with that shot. I would have lived with that shot if I was Al Horford on James Harden. I wouldn't have lived with that shot if I was Jaylen Brown on James Harden. I wouldn't have lived with that shot. You put Marcus Smart on James Harden, and you say, okay, my best defending guard versus your best scoring guard, and then we'll find out. But no. Let's put, guy looks just like, Marcus Freeman coaching for the Boston Celtics out there, wearing the same jacket, just blows my mind. I love Marcus. He'd have never made that situation to fit.
We'll see. It's going to be an interesting series for sure. It's a must-win for the Celtics.
Yep. Should be a good one. Hockey update before you go to the Booster Club. Panthers 4-2 over the Maple Leafs. I'm never betting on the Maple Leafs again. I know it's a long series. They'll probably win the series. I'm not taking them, boys. I have to stay away. And then the Kraken 5-4 over the Stars with an upset. And our boy, who was it?
What's his name?
Pavelski?
Yeah. Came back 4 goals.
4 of them.
4
of them.
Goals.
You're walking.
And look,
I haven't hit 4 goals my whole life.
I'm pretty sure he got hurt in the first game of the first round, and this was his first game
back.
This was his first game back?
First game back and dropped a 4-piece and lost. Don't let me in that locker room.
Yeah, I know. I need to take stock.
For the Stars. So he scored all 4 of their goals and they lost. Wow.
Here's the thing about Toronto. I feel bad for our guy Kirk, who called in from Canada on Monday.
Hey,
you gonna keep that energy though.
Look, guys, y'all won the Stanley Cup. All right, y'all have to get out of the first round.
Nah, it's not.
You won the Stanley Cup. That's all that matters.
Well,
make sure you come get your trophy.
I sat here, talked about how the Leafs are playing with house money, and for the first 7 to 10 minutes of that game, it was exactly like how I thought it was going to be. The Leafs had more shots than Pfizer, but you can't finish it. You can't. I'm going to give credit to the Panthers, not just goalie, but defense last night. You have 2 power plays in the first 8 minutes. You couldn't score. You couldn't have scored with Gorlock the Destroyer that went on the Whatever podcast the other day. If you took him to a nice restaurant like Applebee's.
But still, I mean, the Panthers are good.
They are good.
They are good.
Yeah, man, they just ran.
They barely made the playoffs.
They just ran through the record-breaking Bruins. So like, these guys, and the thing about it is, like, they usually don't win the first game. Like, they never win the first game, and they just won the first game.
Well, we talk about getting hot at the right time, right? It's a great example. The Kraken right now, it's another great example of that. I mean, you score 4 goals in the first period? I mean, good Lord, guys.
They scored 3 goals in 56 seconds.
Yeah. I mean,
Kraken did?
Yeah.
Wow.
You talking about that's releasing the Kraken. You think you've released it? You think Jack Sparrow had to deal with that guy? All right, the Kraken, you ain't seen nothing yet. How about, 4 goals in the first minute and a half? Jeez, y'all 3 goals, calm down.
Yeah, I'm deathly afraid of the Kraken. I don't even want to be in that situation.
I don't want to be in that. That's why
I know I'll never be in it.
I even get nervous to turn the sink on sometimes.
Dude, scary.
I do want to, by the way, grilling some of the Wagyu burgers from Ranchers tonight.
Can't wait.
Was going to do it last night. Went out to the grill, got a gas grill.
Tell me about it.
Turned on the propane tank.
No.
We're out. The grill, out of propane.
No.
If only.
And then I thought, man, if there was just a company, beautifully designed, built company full of genius people and genius ideas that I could somehow get a great deal on a propane tank or have it at the house by the time I get home tomorrow. And then it hit me. We're sponsored by Cinch, the greatest propane tank delivery service that there is.
There you go.
All right, and it's CYNCH. We know the weather's warming up. We talk about grilling all the time. All right, it's grilling season. But the last thing I want to be doing is what happened to me yesterday. All right, out here just trying to find propane. Like it's 1934. All right, but that's where Cinch comes in clutch. All right, they're a propane grill tank home delivery service. They deliver the tanks right to your door on your schedule. Doesn't require a long-term commitment or subscription. You don't got to get married or buy a magazine. Just hit up our buddies over there. Delivery is completely contactless. You don't have to wait around at home, and you can track the order on the Cinch app anywhere. So whether you're grilling for the game, camping with the fam, or lighting up your patio heaters on a cold night, Cinch's propane delivery service ensures that you have the fuel you need to make the most of every moment. So right now, go online to cinch.com or download their app, that's cynch.com, because new customers can get their first tank exchange for just $10 with promo code BOOSTER. We like that promo code a lot. Just go to these sponsors and type in Booster in the promo code. It's probably going to be right. So go to cinch.com or download the Cinch app, use that promo code, and get your first tank exchange for just $10. cynch.com, promo code BOOSTER. Limited time offer, and you must live within a Cinch service area to redeem it. So either you don't or you're about to move. That's on you. Cinch.com, promo code BOOSTER. You're welcome. Let's gas up your life.
That's real life value right there.
There it is. That's a real
and added
story.
to Jake's life.
And we're taking calls, 1-855-236-3228. Tell us your propane tank delivery story.
Let's go to Travis Elrod, hashtag Ask Crain and Company. Should a series MVP ever come from a losing team?
No.
That's a good question.
No. That's a participation trophy to me. Trophies are for winners.
I think it can.
Again, it always comes down to how do you define most valuable player. We talk about this with the league MVP, not just a series MVP. Who was most valuable to their team? Is that how you're going to decide it? Or who was greatest in the series? Or does it? I'm fine with saying it does have to come from the winner. But
my theory on this has always been, I will always err on the side of the MVP. To me, is the most important person on the best team.
On the team that wins.
On the team that wins.
And I'm fine getting behind that definition, but there are instances, man, where you can clearly see not only the best player in that series, whatever sport, but the one who was most valuable to their team was on the losing side. And I feel for those guys.
Well, I think there's a difference between best and valuable. There's obviously a lot of things you can connect on those. Typically, the best player is going to win it. But when we look at value, we look at things like leadership. And you know, what do you do when it's not going good? Or maybe you're a guy that scores a lot of points, but they were doubling you, so you got a ton of assists. Like, to me, value is, you can't just look at value from a stat sheet. It's something that you watch and you understand. And it's not the person always who scores the most points per game. So I think you don't need to jump to, oh, this guy's just the best player, so he's automatically the MVP. Because Joel Embiid, is he the best player in the NBA? I think you could make the argument that he is, but you can make a lot of arguments that he isn't. But why is he one of the most valuable? Because his team wins, and he contributes in every way possible.
Like Jimmy Butler's a great example. Jimmy Butler's so valuable to the Heat. That's a completely different team without Jimmy Butler on there. And unless you think they're going to win the championship, he's going to have to lose a series at some point in these playoffs. And he may be the most valuable player in that series. You know, like, let's say they even match up in the finals against Golden State. And one night Steph gets hot, but one night Klay gets hot, and one night Andrew Wiggins goes off, and Jordan Poole. And it takes a team effort to beat the Heat, but Jimmy Butler has 35 and 10 every single night.
Sometimes the most valuable player doesn't win.
Yeah.
You know?
See, I disagree with that, because then I just don't like giving away, hey, you were the most valuable player, but your team didn't win. It's just participation trophy-ish to me.
And we don't do it, right? Like,
no.
I mean, most of them are in line with you.
Yeah,
always the trophy goes to the winner. So
okay, let's go to Cole Frank. I know we haven't got to this yesterday, but I do want to ask all this. What do y'all think about Jordan Love's contract extension?
Well, you decided
22.5.
You decided he was going to be the guy, so you needed to give him a little positivity and a little bit of pub. I can understand that, especially with Aaron Rodgers over there in Madison Square Garden with the Knicks and in New York and getting all this credit and things like that. I get what the Packers are doing. That's your guy, but again, it's smart. I don't want to give you a 5-year deal. You got to show it to me. I showed you mine. Now you show me yours. That's how this works.
$22.5 million for 1 year.
Yeah.
So I mean, you're good with that?
I'm good. I'm more worried about the years than I am the money. Like, I think the Packers have the leverage. Like, you want to show them that you support them, but also make a smart business decision. I mean, we know $22 million is a lot of money for a quarterback that hasn't proven anything for 1 year, but it is 1 year. So if it ends up not being what you thought, you're not having to dig out of a contract for the next 40 years or try and get somebody to take Jordan Love off your hands, because that's kind of a tough thing to do in the NFL. So I don't hate it. I don't love it, but I understand it.
I'll do it for half.
Yeah,
I'll do it for half, and I won't even go on a dark.
Half? What? Just give me a $1
Yeah. No, I'll go
out there.
on a darkness retreat if y'all want me for a half.
Let's go to Texas 80. Said Andre Dawson won the NL MVP for the last place Chicago Cubs in '87.
See, I don't, again.
But that was a season MVP, right?
Well, he said last place, so I'm guessing that was a season MVP. Well, I got Richard Dewan has a good point. MVP for a losing team can work in baseball for a pitcher to throw a no-hitter, but your offense doesn't support you.
Well, I mean, we're talking about MVP for one game.
Mm-hmm.
Like if that's then yeah. But we said series or season, right? Those are the two: season MVP, series MVP. I mean, for one game, yes. And
like the season MVP, you're not saying has to come from the championship.
No.
So is that kind of the same thing? It's like if your team didn't win the championship.
Well, like again, just because you don't like. I guess you can say the champion of the regular season. Like I look at the President's Trophy in the NHL. A lot of people have great regular seasons and don't win in the playoffs. But when it comes to the regular season, to me, there can be a quote-unquote champion of the regular season, but who has the best record. But you have 1 seed from the West and a 1 seed from the East and a 2 seed from the West and a 2 seed from the East. To me, I think when we're talking about regular season as compared to a series and a postseason, or just a postseason in general, because I think that's a little bit different than a regular season. I think we'd all agree there. It is, the nuance is a little bit different. But I still would not give the MVP to the last place team. Like I wouldn't go that far.
All right, let's go to Mo Bamba. He wants to know, we talked about this yesterday, missed the show. Mo Bama, dang it.
It's a girl.
Who will be the first team to complain about the 12-team playoff is enough because they ended at number 13, and why will it be Texas A&M?
Well, it's the same, yeah. Well, I think you're giving Texas A&M a lot of credit to end up at 13 with the way it's been going. I even though I do like what Petrino and them are doing. Just like the NCAA tournament, I mean, speaking of Texas A&M, they were like the 69th team out 2 years ago, and Buzz Williams was like, this is ridiculous. I need to get, I need to find out where everybody lives on the committee and how they go through their decision-making process. There's always going to be somebody that complains. So, yes, it's going to be the 13th team, and it's going to be the 14th team, and it's probably going to be the 15th team when you see the rankings when they come out. So, somebody's always going to complain. There can be 300 slots in the playoffs, but people are going to complain. And speaking about complaining, it's Wednesday.
Oh, boy.
Which is the day
I got something for you
of
guys.
David's complaints. And I'm super jacked about this one. Because little birdie gave me a little inside info on what it's about. So, David, I'm still going to ask the question. It's Wednesday. You're a 73-year-old trapped in a 34-year-old's body. Who's getting off your lawn today? Or who's G'ing off your L?
Met Gala outfits need to get off my lawn.
You look stupid.
I get it. I'm from a small country town that you've probably never heard of, so I'm not exactly the demographic for an event that charges $50,000 a ticket where the end goal is to win the weirdest costume award. But that got me thinking, who is the demographic? Because clearly too many of y'all watched the Hunger Games and thought the people in the Capitol were the good guys. They were not. Lil Nas X went from riding his horse down Old Town Road to riding on Satan's lap to riding on whatever spaceship delivered this alien. Jared Leto showed up in a giant cat costume and was praised for being on theme. Yeah, on theme for a furry convention. I don't know why everyone keeps wondering who's on Jeffrey Epstein's client list. Just show up to parties like this and take attendance. I like to get dressed up as much as the next guy. Suit, tie, maybe a tux. But I've never thought, as Janelle Monáe did, I really need to attend this party looking like a human badminton birdie. James Harden walked in the place channeling his inner Cookie Monster. Oh, wait. That's not from the Met Gala. That's just a normal NBA pregame. I'm sorry. Next one, please. This guy here brought a bicycle with him, which I can at least respect if that was his mode of transportation. I mean, can you imagine the logistics of getting this thing in a limousine? It seems the only way to stand out and truly be unique at a modern event of this nature is to wear something classy. Like Roger Federer here. Of course, for this, he was panned by fashionistas stating Roger's look isn't worth commenting on. Really? He's the only sensible gentleman in the joint. Now, critics of my critique will say, David, you simply don't understand the courage of avant-garde risk takers pushing the boundaries of postmodern fashion. Nah, I understand just fine. Y'all have too much time on your hands. This is what happens when humans no longer have to grow food and build shelter. How about next year? We get all the celebrities to go dressed as workers and then actually do something productive. And until then, go ahead and get Chanel or Prada or whoever on the phone and see if they'll fit you up with something that looks really great while you're getting off my lawn.
Great job,
done.
Dave.
Well done. Can we bring the Jared Leto costume back?
Oh, you want to see the cat costume again?
Yeah, I thought this was the dog from Neverending Story
That's a
that
good
he
movie.
rode on their back.
That's a good movie.
Yeah. I just don't get it. I guess it's like on Austin Powers when Dr. Evil, like when Scott... Falcor. Yeah, when Scott just wants to shoot Austin Powers and be like, you can just shoot him now and it's no problem. He's like, Dr. Evil's like, no, he's like, I'm going to put him in there. I'm going to shut the doors. And then Scott's like, listen, I've got a gun in my room. I'll go get it. And he's like, you know what, Scott? You don't get it. Do you? You don't. I just don't get it. I don't get it. All right? Can we bring back up who was the guy in the wedding dress looking thing?
Oh, the first one?
The first one. Can we bring that picture back up? What in the hell is this? Is that Lil Uzi?
I thought that was Big Sean for a second.
I mean, this looks like some version of M. Night Shyamalan, The Conjuring. This is just...
I thought the goal of these things was to look nice, to get dressed up, look nice. It's not to look nice anymore. It's to shock. It's just like to be as shocking as possible.
Why wouldn't you just show up naked?
That's the only way you can top this stuff.
I would just show up naked with like a piece
on.
of tape on, like duct tape, like right here. Like it just...
That's it?
That's it.
I mean, I'm showing up in a dragon costume, obviously.
Obviously.
Why wouldn't I? I mean...
Can we get a dragon costume that kind of looks like that cat costume that Jared Leto had?
I think we can.
How long before people, though, honestly, how long, as crazy as this stuff's getting, because men can be women and women can be men now, so, how long until we look outside and people just walk around in animal costumes? Like, it's Halloween
already
every
happening.
day.
Yeah.
I'm talking about like looking
Halloween
out.
every
Hey, man,
day.
wow, speaking of Applebee's, there's 2 dogs and a unicorn walking into Applebee's. This is Jeff the unicorn.
A lot of
This is
Applebee's
him.
talk today. A lot of Applebee's.
Big on
I'm feeling
Applebee's,
those,
man.
2-for-1 apps.
Getting the 2 for
those
1.
dollar Long Islands, too.
Come on now.
Like, how y'all only charging $1, though? Like, what's in it? It's like you used to get double cheeseburger. Like, this is $1? Wait, you guys are supposed to be making money. You're not taking a hit on this one.
So if you guys got to go to the Met Gala for free, would you go? You're invited. You can walk the carpet, do all the stuff.
Would I go?
Are you going?
Yes.
And wearing what?
I would show up. What would I wear?
Blue
I'd
jeans,
probably dress up
blue
like
jeans and a tan.
I'd probably dress up like somebody's mask. I'd probably wear the Syracuse orange man outfit. Something
What
like
about
that.
you, B?
God, I don't know. It has to hit, right? Like, it has to hit. It needs to be...
Bubble wrap? Would you go like, oh, dude, where's my car? Like the people that worship Zoltan in bubble wrap? That's what we should go. We should go
That'd
and
hit.
rep Zoltan.
God, it's just so tough.
You can't top this stuff, though.
I know.
Like, you're trying to think, like, oh, how can I top this? I'll wear a trash bag. Nah, they're already doing that.
No, yeah, I know. No, like, it has to be something different, right? It has to be, I don't know, maybe like...
You dress like an AR-15 or something?
No, that wouldn't be good. I don't know. I like the Charizard get up. I like, I don't know, Groot. What if I came as Groot?
I'd like that.
No, that wouldn't be
I could be the
bad,
Syracuse
right?
orange thing. You could
Syracuse
be-
orange thing. Well, David could dress up as Groot. I guess that fits him better.
What do you mean? He is Groot.
Yeah, he is. No, I don't know. He's more of a taller, skinnier Elon Musk than Groot. I don't know, though, because, like...
David, that's a good question, man. Like this, I need more time. If this isn't enough time for me.
What would you go, David?
Just go as, like, one of the photographers in the background.
Okay.
Like, this is
Dress up like a photographer?
No, the only way to top this stuff is to wear nothing. Jake's right. Like, you have to go naked.
Naked.
That's the only way to top
we go.
the craziness.
At Applebee's or at Met Gala?
Well, I've already done that.
Okay, that's what I thought.
That's
What,
just
you talking about
Saturday.
the Met Gala?
Yeah, let's go to, Holden McLean. $5 donation. He says, next time Blaine loses a bet, ad producer Just him shoots him 5 times in the back with a paintball gun while he's on the Stairmaster with a straitjacket on.
Works for me.
That felt way
Look,
too
I
specific.
agree. You agree with that, David? I think we can set that up.
Yeah, look, that paintball gun doesn't play when it makes contact.
And it has the hopper.
The hopper?
The hopper. We got calls at 1-855-236-3228. We also got some reactions. I don't know if we're going to get to it because typically the calls fill up pretty quick.
All right. Ben Johnson said, y'all should pull up Pedro Pascal's outfit. Looks like he forgot his pants. What was
Pedro
he wearing?
Pascal?
No way. They got
Hold on.
Pedro too?
Who is that?
It's the guy from The Last of Us?
Yeah, I was going to put him up. He's Prince Oberyn.
Oh, the guy gets his. I saw him. He looked like he was like, trying out for the Mystery Men.
I almost put him on there, but it's like, guys, you can only fit so many of these bad costumes.
And his compared to the other ones, it was crazy. I mean, he looked like kind of like
what happened to Kristen?
If Robin Hood worshipped the devil.
Kristen Stewart.
What happened to Kristen Stewart?
What'd she do?
She was the last one. Did you not see her? That was
From
the last
Twilight?
one.
She's always been a bad actress.
I don't care. She was hot.
That was her?
The last one. Pull that up.
She was hot. Like, I had a crush on this
That's a
girl in
girl
high
from
school.
Twilight.
No.
She made me sick from Twilight. I don't know.
Yeah, can we pull the picture up so I
Are
can
you pulling
see
it up or no?
Working on it.
All right, well, we'll check it out in a minute. Let's go ahead and get to calls then. There it is. Man, I thought that was like Megan Rapinoe's daughter or something.
God.
Man, damn, Kristen. You and old girl Emma Watson, man.
Don't.
Yeah.
I'm not what we're not.
Yeah. That's a real one right there.
Ugh.
Tiny.
Woo.
Stop. Woo. Woo. Learn a couple spills. Let's get to the calls.
All right, let's get to the calls. Hey, our boy Cody from Illinois.
Cody.
We couldn't get to him on Monday. Cody's calling in. Cody, what you got for us, man?
Who's ready to play? What year is it? NFL Draft Edition.
Come on,
Let's
man.
do it.
Hey, Cody.
Just
this
not
is what I'm
tennis or
doing.
hockey.
All right,
Thank
this
you.
is what I'm doing. As I think Steve said, who donated earlier, he didn't say I cheated, but he said I got stumped if I used the chat. So I'm closing it. It's getting closed.
So you
Because
cheated.
apparently I'm a cheater.
Yeah.
Okay.
There
All
is
right.
no Ponchatoula High School in Dalesville, Louisiana.
All right, so I'll be reading you guys 5 clues from a specific draft class, and you guys are going to tell me what draft class it is.
Oh, just what year?
And
Okay.
Yes, what year of the NFL draft I'm talking about. So the clues today, I'm going to give you where the Heisman winner went in the draft, who won the Offensive Rookie of the Year that year, Defensive Rookie of the Year. I'm going to give you a draft pick trade and a late round gem.
Okay.
All right, so the Heisman winner. The Minnesota Vikings select Miami quarterback Gino Torretta in the 7th round with the 192nd pick.
Okay.
Offensive Rookie of the Year. The Los Angeles Rams select Notre Dame running back Jerome Bettis with the 10th pick. Defensive Rookie of the Year. The San Francisco 49ers select Kansas defensive tackle Dana Stubblefield with the 26th pick. Draft pick trade. The Detroit Lions trade picks 8 and 83 to the New Orleans Saints for former Defensive Player of the Year, linebacker Pat Swilling, who would only play in Detroit for 2 lackluster seasons. The Saints then select future Hall of Fame Louisiana Tech tackle Willie Roaf with the 8th pick and future All-Pro Fresno State fullback Lorenzo Neal with the 83rd pick. In a late-round gem, the New York Giants select Miami linebacker Jesse Armstead in the 8th round with the 207th pick. What year is it, fellas?
What was the second clue again?
Offensive Rookie of the Year. Los Angeles Rams select Notre Dame running back Jerome Bettis with the 10th pick.
What year did Jerome Bettis get drafted?
All right, so let's think about this. With the Steelers and Roethlisberger, how many years did Roethlisberger and Bettis play together?
Not many. I think maybe that
couple,
one
right?
Super
One or
Bowl.
two?
That I think Bettis retired after that first Super Bowl they won when it was in Detroit, maybe?
What year was that?
2000 and maybe 8, 7, 8, 6, 7, 8. Something like that's when Bettis retired.
All right, this just really smells like 94, 95.
That era feels right, but I don't know. I don't know for sure.
It's 96.
Gino Torretta.
Yeah.
That is not.
It's more about Jerome Bettis to me.
Jerome played a while. He
I
played a
know.
long time.
So, I mean.
15, you think he played? No, not 15, what, 12? Somewhere around there? Let's go, I'm going to ride with 1990.
Hold on, before you say it real quick. He said the
1995,
Heisman
that's what I
Trophy
think.
winner was from Miami?
Yeah, Gino Torretta.
Yeah, Gene Torretta.
Torretta.
I'm going to say 95.
I'm going to go 97.
Okay.
What do you?
Well, we have to be collective.
I know.
Do we, though? Is that in the rule book?
we
do
do.
we? Do we not, though? I mean, there's 3 different people here. We can't.
So
throw
he
2
said
in.
95. I said 97. Do we go 96?
I said 97.
Okay,
you
96.
said
1996.
All right, 1996 is your final answer?
Yes.
All right, it is not 1996.
It feels early.
But
What
it
is
is not over, fellas. I got one more clue.
All right.
The first overall selection The New England Patriots select Washington State quarterback Drew Bledsoe with the first overall pick.
See, it's earlier, right?
Yeah.
It's earlier. I mean, Drew Bledsoe was hurt.
God, what is it, 93?
Maybe even before that.
I don't think like the Jerome Bettis.
1993.
All right, hold on. Let's think about Heisman winners too, because did Charlie Ward win that year for Florida State?
I think it's 93. That's what I'm going with.
92.
Yeah, I'll say 92.
All right. I'll say 93. They'll say 92. What is it?
So we're going split answers here.
Split answer.
If that's allowed.
All right. Yeah, sure. All right. It is 1993.
Give me that.
Wow.
Get it hot. Cody, great
Well
stuff,
done.
buddy. Thank you.
Okay, so Bettis. Cody, do you know when Jerome Bettis retired? What year it was? Was it 2008?
I remember the Super Bowl was like 2005 or 2006.
Okay.
Yeah, one of those.
Thanks
Something
for
like
that.
that.
You're in the ballpark.
All right, you had a good,
Great call,
great
Cody.
career. Thanks,
Good one.
Cody. Appreciate it, man. All right. Eric calling in from Minnesota. Eric, what's going on?
Hey, hello.
Eric,
guys.
what's up, buddy? What's up?
Hey, not much. First of all, thank you guys for this show. It's so amazing. I haven't been as interested in sports since I started listening to you guys. And then also thank you to the Booster Club. You guys are just amazing people down there in the Booster Club.
Oh,
by the
yeah.
way. It's
Eric,
Matt
thank you,
Vet
man. That means a
on
lot.
the line too, by the way.
Mad Vet.
Yeah.
Bad the head. There we go.
Anyways, the thing that I wanted to ask was, what is the Vikings quarterback plan right now? Because I did not understand, like, we didn't go for any, as a Vikings fan, we didn't go for any, like, good quarterbacks or, like, a top 5 draft pick in quarterbacks, even though I was happy we didn't go with Will Levis. But at the same time, we only have Kirk Cousins through next year, and it's like, I don't know where we're going here with the QB situation, in that sense. Are we waiting till next year and then going to start a guy fresh as a rookie, or is there something else that could be going on?
When I look at this situation, there's so many different ways to look at this. I think the Vikings are being patient because, listen, offense has not been the problem, and you know this for the Vikings. I mean, especially last year. Defensively, they were awful. That's why you got rid of the coordinator, who has been a fantastic coach for a long time, but the defense is what really cost you. Here's the two prisms I think you can look at this at. One, you have Kirk Cousins, who you know what you're going to get from Kirk Cousins, right? Kirk Cousins is a proven commodity. All right, you know you're not going to get some crazy Patrick Mahomes style play, but he is good enough with what they have. All right, you've added another piece on the offense to the Vikings to help out with Justin Jefferson. You have some young talent at receiver. So in one bucket, you say, all right, next year we have Caleb Williams and Drake May. There's a lot of quarterbacks that win in this draft. But do you say, listen, with this, what will be a veteran receiving core that is really talented, do we want to waste a couple years by bringing in a rookie who's got to learn with these guys, even though quarterbacks are playing better quicker than they ever have before? Or do you bring in a guy out of free agency to come in who can pick it up quickly and work with this receiver core and it be more effective? Or do you say Justin Jefferson, and I believe, what was it, Jordan Addison?
Jordan Addison they got with their first pick.
Jordan Addison. Yep. We want these guys, they're young enough where they can grow with a young guy.
But they also took the quarterback, Jaron Hall, from BYU.
They got Jaron Hall, which I saw Jaron at the Senior Bowl. I wasn't super impressed. I don't think he's going to be a guy.
No way.
But I think there's two different ways to look at it. But I think the Vikings are being smart. They're being patient. Don't create problems where there's not a problem, especially at the quarterback position, and in actuality, on the offensive side of the ball, because there is a good chemistry between Kirk and Dalvin Cook and Justin Jefferson. You got TJ Hawkinson to come over from the Lions, who I like a lot. So I think they're going with the experience play here, and they know what they need to get better at, and you do too, Eric. That's defensive.
Defense, yeah. But at some point, they'll need a viable succession.
They will. It's just, will it be?
Well, I think with the amount of quarterbacks that'll be coming out in next year's draft,
sure.
I feel like you can find a guy, right? But we all know Kirk Cousins is not going to win you a Super Bowl. He's not. He's not going to do it.
I mean, the likelihood is very low for sure. But I also remind Vikings fans every day, like, go before the time before Kirk Cousins and ask me what our quarterback situation was before then. It was journeyman and bad draft picks and everything. And my thing is that I would agree completely with you guys but we only have Kirk Cousins on contract through this next season. If we had Kirk Cousins on contract through the next 2 seasons, I'd be sitting there saying, okay, I get it. You couldn't get a good QB in this first round this year, and maybe you're waiting to see if you can do a nice trade next year to get a high draft pick. Or if you don't do as well, you can go draft somebody higher because of a better pick.
Yeah.
But,
Eric,
I just don't see the reason. So
if you if you extend him, you're going to have to pay him. So, like, if you're the Vikings right now, Kirk Cousins made a lot of. You could say Kirk Cousins somewhat overpaid. I would agree with that. But so, what do? You extend him 3 years, and now if next year he has a horrible year, and you really start to see a decline in Kirk Cousins, you now got to buy him out of his contract. I think the Vikings are actually playing this perfectly, because if Kirk Cousins goes out next year and balls, and the Vikings make it all the way to the conference championship or something like that, then you extend him 2-3 years. Hey, let's rock and roll this thing. We still believe in you. Next year, if he goes and falls off a cliff, there's no, we wipe our hands, Kirk, thanks for the memories, Fall Out Boy style. So I think the Vikings are playing it perfect, actually.
There'll be 15 guys next year that you're going to be able to draft that can immediately come in and be the backup to Kirk Cousins. Because who's y'all's backup right now? It's Jaron Hall and Nick Mullins. Isn't it Nick Mullins? I believe it's Nick Mullins and Jaron Hall. There's 15 guys.
Yeah,
right.
Because Mullins came over from the Raiders, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I thought he was with San Francisco at one point.
Well, I think he was, too.
Gotcha.
Southern Miss kid. But Eric, thanks, buddy. We
appreciate it, Eric. Thanks, man. All right, Nighthawk in Ohio.
Karate in the garage.
Nighthawk, what's going on?
Hey, what's going on, guys?
What up?
I have a bone to pick. It's not with any of you guys, though. However, Lane having a crush on Kristen Stewart is a travesty. But my bone to pick is with...
Hold on. You say you don't have a bone to pick with anybody, then you pick a bone with me.
I don't mean it. With all due respect. I said with all due respect.
In high school, I had a crush on her. And she was hot in high school.
She was.
She was mysterious.
When you were in high school.
When I was in high school. Okay, yeah, I'm sorry, my mind didn't go there. But when I was in high school watching Twilight, she was hot. I don't know what that thing is now, but it's not the Kristen Stewart I know.
Yeah.
You be nice.
It's still real to me, damn it.
Yeah, no, my high school crush was Selena Gomez, and if my fiance is listening, she will definitely let me know that. She knows my crush for Selena Gomez. So
nice.
Yeah.
Good, you're a brave man.
But my bone to pick, though, is with the infamous 4-letter network, and I know we all share our love for them. But my bone to pick with them is the other day I was reading an article. I'm a Pittsburgh Steelers fan, and I'm not a delusional fan by any means, but they had us ranked last in our division for power rankings because Kenny Pickett still has a lot to prove, which I agree, he does. But you know who else has a lot to prove is Deshaun Watson. He has to prove that he can stop being customer of the month at the local massage parlor. And until he can prove that, he should not be ranked before the Steelers. He has yet to play a full season against the AFC North defense. And, I mean, our defenses are pretty smash mouth. And put the Browns above the Steelers, I think that's disrespectful.
Yeah, I think sometimes they do those power rankings just to see like who they can piss off the most. It's like whenever I look at FPI or like PFF, and they're like, actually, the worst offensive line was the best offensive line. When I look at the Steelers, I guess I can understand a little bit where the 4-letter network's coming from, because if I am going to compare, Deshaun Watson got his feet back under him a little bit. You do have Amari Cooper, but you're going to sit here and look me in the eyes and say, I'm not going to pick the Browns to finish last in the division? Now that Lamar's going back to the Ravens and they got OBJ and they're trying to get him a little bit of help, and now that saga's over with, at least for now. It's either Pittsburgh or Cleveland, but I want to go on Cleveland. I really would have. And the dysfunction off the field, I mean, that's a huge part of any organization, especially when you're talking about sports. But, I mean, you look at the craziness that's gone over with Cleveland, guys wanting to leave all the time. You have obviously the Deshaun Watson contract and then what was going on with that whole situation. But it just seems to me like Pittsburgh is just a much more stable
I would put Pittsburgh at 3 right there. But I don't think the gap between 2 and 3 is that big. I don't think it's outlandish to say that the way that Mike Tomlin, how great of a coach he is, to say that the Steelers could finish ahead of the Ravens in this division.
Lamar's got to stay healthy.
100% they could. I need to see. Now I think the Bengals, are clearly far and away the top team in that division. But if the Steelers can get that offensive line back on track and get Najee Harris running downhill, that was the main reason I didn't pick him on my fantasy team when I had a shot to last year, and it proved to be the right decision. Even though I think Najee Harris is going to continue to be one of the best backs in this league, and you get Kenny Pickett entering year 2, and our buddy George Pickens
and Freiermuth at tight end. Like you look at defensively, T.J. Watt.
Defensively, I'm never going to worry about him.
Steelers, no. The Steelers, I think you can't go wrong with either pick. If it's me, I'm picking the Steelers. I think the Steelers might be a breakout team coming up this year. One, they're all young. They also basically all got through. Deontay Johnson, I think, could be one of the best receivers in the NFL.
Nice.
It's just him and Kenny Pickett have kind of been missing the connection. George Pickens is underrated for sure. I still love y'all's secondary. Y'all had a couple weary moments last year, but I believe in Kenny Pickett. I believe all these guys are young. Najee Harris is going to be Najee Harris, and all of them are young and they're growing together. And you go look for the Cleveland Browns. Nick Chubb, great back. I get worried about Nick Chubb. They rely on him too much. We'll see about Deshaun Watson. They paid a lot of money for him to be mediocre last year. I know it's his first year back. I still think Deshaun can be elite, but we'll see. And I do question the Browns secondary more than I question the Pittsburgh.
I just not trusting the Browns. That's pretty simple for me.
Point. That's the point.
So you can't go wrong with that.
I know.
It's like at some point they could run the best team in the NFL out there, and you still have to understand it's the Browns organization. It's kind of like what we said about Georgia beating Alabama in that championship in 2001. We have to see it first, right? And then they did it. So, if the Browns are going to move forward and be an elite team with their new star quarterback, then let's see it.
Agreed.
That's how I feel about it.
Man, thanks, Nighthawk.
Appreciate it, man. All right, we got Jack, a.k.a. Bluegill.
Oh, yeah.
Mobile.
The Bluegill, baby.
Bluegill, what's going on?
Hey, guys, good morning.
Morning.
So, first off, I apologize for my unnecessary roughness on Blaine's haircut last Wednesday. I started something that I didn't want to.
It's always
look. You speak your truth. You're in the trust tree. All right. You come in here and you speak your mind. You don't apologize for it.
Look, I had to shave a mullet, and I'm not happy about that. So I feel for him.
One thing I've always wanted to grow was a mullet. I can't do it.
Why?
I just can't. My hair grows up, not out.
Nah, I don't believe it.
Why would I lie about it? It's too specific to be a lie.
But it grows out your head.
Yeah, like up. It doesn't grow out.
So the back of your head, hold on one second, Jack.
Yeah.
The back of your hair here grows up and defies gravity.
I'm saying
Jimmy Neutron?
Here grows up instead of growing down here. It doesn't grow out.
Long hair?
I think you need to figure out a different way to say that.
No, I don't.
Yeah,
I don't think I need to.
You need to say
I'm going to
that.
say it
actually
exactly
makes
like
sense.
that. Thank you.
Wow, PJ coming in
It does.
with an assist.
What do you mean you can't grow a mullet?
Yeah.
Let your hair grow back here.
Grow it.
It won't grow back there.
Okay.
No,
All right,
you're not
Jack,
a
we're gonna
chia
get to the
pet.
end
We
of
don't
this.
have to water you for it to grow. Just don't cut it.
It won't grow like that.
Sorry, Jack. You
don't think I
started.
want a mullet?
Go ahead, Jack.
Look me in the eyes. You don't think I want a mullet, Dave? You think I'm against this?
That is true.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So after convincing myself that Joe Shane wasn't pulling a David Gettleman draft after the first round, I was very pleased with the overall end grade. What preseason moves do you expect them to make?
You kind of broke up. Did you say Joe Shine? Joe Shine?
Yeah. What preseason moves do you expect him to make for the Giants?
Well, when I look at the Giants draft, and I want to come out and say something. I was wrong on Kayvon Thibodeau, at least to this point. I thought he would do something off the field. Like, he's a lot better than what I thought. So I want to make sure I give credit where credit due, and I trust Dayball and what's going on. But when I look at this Giants team, you've got a lot of momentum, right? You need to handle Saquon, okay? Right? That's mission one, which I think they're going to get it done. You feel good about Daniel Jones. I like Richie James. I like some of the pieces they have, but they need to find a way to. If I'm the Giants, there's one guy I'm calling, and it's DeAndre Hopkins. The Cardinals, y'all wanted a second rounder for D-Hop? I will find a way to get DeAndre Hopkins on the Giants. You need one guy, I think, because I like the Giants defense. I like the roster. I like Daniel Jones. But you don't have, who is that breakout playmaker on the outside that you have? Or that guy that's going to make those plays in the clutch moments over and over again? Darius Slayton's a nice player, but Darius Slayton drops a lot of balls. He drops a lot of balls. He's unbelievable at creating separation and getting open, running the 9 route, the vert, post. He's really good. But you have to go find that one dog on the outside. And of course, you want to shore things up in small areas, but that's really the one glaring weakness that I see from the Giants. Because I trust Daniel. And it's not like he's going to forget. That quarterback run game is still going to be there. With Saquon being the threat he is, it's still going to open it up. So, to me, what do you think?
I think, receiver is one area that I specifically target. I would have liked to have seen us take one of the big first round talents that was there this year, but obviously that wasn't an option after trading up and the first 4 people in front of us picking 4 straight receivers. But wide receiver, I would like to see at least one more solid defensive back. Maybe not a big.
I'd agree with that.
But
I'd agree with that. A piece. You need a piece, not the piece. You need a piece.
Yes,
I agree with that.
A good anchor.
Yeah, well, Deontay Banks was a good pickup for Maryland. That kid's an absolute stud. You could have a legit argument of him being the best third best cornerback in the draft. I promise you, Jalen Hyatt might sneak up on some people.
I agree with that.
And I know, a lot of people say, well, it's Tennessee system and this like that, but these straight line guys are really starting to come in their own to the league. And you go back to the same, he reminds me of that kid from the Packers. All right, Christian Watson. Reminds me, Christian Watson's a straight line guy. He's a speed guy. But you saw Christian starting to get in his bag a little bit. You can kind of help maybe a little bit of Aaron Rodgers. But if Jalen Hyatt, and I know he didn't have a great when it comes to the draft for the pro day, like running certain routes, he didn't look phenomenal. But he's only going to get better, and he has the speed to get by people in the secondary. If he could deepen his bag a little bit, he could be a sneaky guy coming into next year.
Big body, high jumper. I agree. Good call.
Appreciate it, Jack.
Thanks, Jack.
All right, that's it for today, boys. But we also have other Jack from Minnesota, Aiden, Robert, a bunch of people on the lines. Y'all call in on Friday, please.
On Friday, yes. On Friday, I'm going to try and find a way to get through earlier. It's just a ton going on with the playoffs and everything, and you guys are the freaking best. I'm heading over to the board. Say something about the...
All right, Jimbo Eagle, $5 donation says, Daily Wire needs to do their own counterculture version of the Met Gala to go against the madness. Perhaps people like Aaron Rodgers and Kid Rock would be down.
Wait. You got to say, I didn't understand the second half of what you said.
Okay.
A new version of what?
The Met Gala.
Oh, the Met Gala.
That out of your ears.
Well, again, just speak English.
David heard it.
Met Gala. What would we call it? The Vet Gala?
Well, it's based off the Metropolitan, so we just find a different location. That's why it's called the Met.
It's based off where it is what you're saying. So we just call after where it is.
Jeremy's Gala.
Yeah.
It's at Jeremy's house.
Jeremy's house. Jeremy's house. That's great. All right, our Booster Club bets are brought to you by DraftKings. Download the app right now. Sign up with code BOOSTER. It's BOOSTER. New customers can make a $5 bet and score $150 in bonus bets instantly, only at DraftKings Sportsbook with code BOOSTER. Use it. Do it now. Yesterday, I'm trying not to get pissed off this month. All right, I want to come up here and put on a brave face. It's wedding month, honeymoon month. So I'm gonna be happy, okay? But everybody associated with Arkansas baseball, and look, I've been a part of weekday games, midweek games. I get it. I understand it. You go up 3-0 on Lipscomb. Got a 3-team parlay yesterday. Go up 3-0. You let them come back. Down 6-3. They gave y'all 3 runs on wild pitches. Then you can't score a run against Lipscomb. That's right down the street. I know where this place is. In the bottom of the 9th, or the bottom of the 10th, or the bottom of the 11th. I love Eric Musselman. Fantastic. I love Sam Pittman. I hope they turn it around this year with KJ Jefferson. But to Arkansas baseball, the Oma Hogs, I'm going to start calling you the Oma Cants, all right? And I will never bet on you guys again. Shame on you, and those poor fans that showed up and packed that place out deserve better. It's Lipscomb. Grow up. But anyway, today, put on a brave face, happy face. Give me Jason Tatum. 35 plus, that means it can be 35 and it hits, or over. Points, rebounds, and assists. They have to have it, they have to have it. And you pair that with Boston money line that's at +1.25. And then the Canes money line, Las Vegas Golden Knights, dogs at home.
Yeah.
Home dogs. And I'm not talking about your boys. All right. At plus 1.5, you combine those two, you get plus 152. And to our Arkansas fans out there, love you guys. This is to the baseball team. All right. This is the Dave Van Horn and the boys. Not Eric Musselman, not Sam Pittman. Love y'all. You already know what time it is. What do you got, David?
All right, boys, I'm going to go with the Celtics money line to even the series, but I want the 76ers plus 15.5. Those odds are minus 105. And then I'm going to take the Hurricanes money line, minus 120 on the ice.
You can go wrong with that. All right, back to the Nerfy life, people. Let's live it. Give me the Rays, Pitt, Nerfy minus 150, and then give me the A's Seattle, Nerfy minus 120. A little Logan Gilbert action today.
Yeah. Ace Cone, he's the guy you want in the mound in the big moment. He's going Las Vegas Golden Knights money line. That's at plus an even steady 100. And then he's going to be bet buds with Blanye East. He's taking the Rays and the Pirates, Nerfy.
Well, Ace Cone.
Got Shane McClanahan on the mound?
McClanahan's on the mound.
McClanahan.
Nothing fluky.
I'm going to throw strikes.
It's nothing fluky.
Oh, you mean like 3 runs in the first with the Rangers yesterday?
Yeah. No. I'd rather you get 3. Get 3. It's like, look,
just not one.
Yeah, just don't blue punt behind third base to score a run from second. Which
I'm 100%.
I'll throw up later. All right, let's go to Brian Hall. What's up, Brian? $5 donation. He said Blaine should go to the event with Vegemite smeared all over his body. Oh. Brian, there's certain things that don't need to get
What if I win? No. I know what I'm going. I know what I'm going as. I know what I'm going like. I'm gonna look exactly like Oh Boy from Apocalypto. That's exactly what I'm looking at. There it is. There's my answer. Figured it out. I knew I'd find it eventually.
Let's go to Steve Action Figure Frenzy, who did donate earlier. Steve, I kind of said it, but it ran off the thing. I know you stumped me if I looked at the chat. We both agree. $5 donation, Steve's Action Figure Frenzy. I got the Richard Todd cards in the mail yesterday.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes. By the way, go buy some merch. They just slashed
English,
some prices off of some stuff, so go check it out.
All right, let's go to Tyler Jarvis. What's up, Tyler? $10 donation. Little late this morning, but having to work. Totally acceptable. Watched last night's show yesterday afternoon. How dare y'all talk about white rappers and leave out Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch?
Marky Mark.
I mean, were they really rap? I mean, the Beastie Boys, like, do we really call that rap, though? I feel like that's like a different thing. Like, it's not rap the way I think now. Like, you listen to Eminem and then the Beastie Boys, like, yeah, that's different. That's way different.
We didn't talk about G-Eazy, I don't think, either.
Gerald? I don't believe with anybody whose name's Gerald.
What about, did we talk about Post Malone at all?
Is he a rapper?
We were talking about him.
It's Post a singer.
I don't.
Hey, look, man, it's Eminem, Mac Miller.
See, I'm going.
Oh, Logic?
Yeah.
We didn't talk about Logic either.
NF's good.
NF is good, but like I think we're disrespecting Yellow Wolf.
Yeah, I don't think Yellow has enough hits. What do you mean?
What do you mean he doesn't
name
have
them
hits? Catfish Billy, Animal. Okay, name 3 NF songs.
No, I didn't say it. I've said Mac Miller is the second best.
Okay, name 3 Mac Miller songs.
Another Night, Nike's on My Feet, Donald Trump.
Man, your catalog's really deep.
Y'all didn't even talk about Izzy Azalea.
She guy.
That was a layup, man. That was a layup.
Macklemore? Is he up there or what?
We talking about Macklemore, the thrift shop, or what?
Yeah, it's Macklemore. Like I like Macklemore, but like he just.
There's one
like,
I'm forgetting.
Macklemore just talks
from back in the day.
He just talks. Like Big Sean talk raps. Like Macklemore just talks. He's like, my dad, he told me that I was coming back like this, and now I'm here. It's Macklemore. Like that's like he just talks through the songs.
Yeah. So I mean, you got Macklemore, Machine Gun Kelly. Is he a rapper?
Don't ever.
MGK, Yellow Wolf, Action Bronson,
Eminem killed
G-Eazy, Beastie Boys, said Paul Wall, Everlast. What about Pitbull?
Who said
does Pitbull count?
Pitbull's not. Pitbull's Hispanic. Come on, man.
I mean,
they don't ever count.
Are we sure?
Yeah, that's not how that rolls off the table.
All right, let's go to Rolly Season with a $2 donation. Joe Milton, the third for Heisman.
Nah.
Hey, look. Here's what. If I'm a Tennessee, if I'm a Tennessee fan, here's what I'm hoping. Just don't overthrow it. That's just what I'm hoping.
No, he's going to hit the ceiling in his combine. Everyone's going to tweet it out, and he's going to go 4th overall to the Colts.
Yeah. after they cut Anthony Richardson.
right, what else?
No, Braden, the Red Hot Chili Peppers don't count. What do you
No, they don't count.
you mean?
Braden? What?
The 80s
my
Chili
favorite
Peppers,
band.
though.
Red Hot Chili Peppers is my favorite band.
Favorite concert I've ever been to at Red Rocks.
Yeah, Red Hot Chili Peppers is my favorite band.
Cole Freak really wants to know, $2 donation. When's the song coming out, Jake?
Did I not just talk about this? Like,
Tell him again. Don't yell at Cole.
This week, I had to add a few things on there. The name of it's Going, Going, Gone. And I've got a feeling.
Luke Combs already wrote it.
No way, you know Luke Combs?
What?
You know Luke Combs?
Can
Luke Combs definitely didn't write it, but if he wants to take like a half credit, we can go halvesies on it.
Yeah, what?
For sure.
The accountant, CBA 12, said, y'all forgot about Lil White.
That's the one I was thinking about. That's
one
the one.
song, though.
Oxycontin Xanax bars.
Yeah.
That's the one I was
I
thinking
listened
about.
to that yesterday.
Really?
Did you really?
Working out.
You all right?
I was on a Paul
His
Wall
name didn't
kick.
pop up in your head?
No,
There's only one song, though.
though. That's like the yellow one.
Yeah, Luke Combs has a song, Going, Going, Gone.
Is it
Released
Going, Going, or Going, Going?
Are you kidding me? Those semantics are gonna.
It's from 2022. It's Going,
That girl's
Going, Gone.
going, gone.
It's from 2020 when?
2022.
Oh, well, that's hilarious because when I did the J-Boy show that started before that, I say Going, Going, Gone at the end of the show. So
Wow,
how
that's
about that?
crazy.
Yeah. How about that?
He
Paul.
stole it.
Yeah.
Who would you have drafted?
Swift sucks. Go ahead.
We doing this again? We're
Yeah.
doing this again? Okay. Who would you have drafted out of college first?
Ooh.
All right. With no, take the NFL out of your mind.
They're not going to be able to do it,
No.
though.
I know they're not.
Nope.
And this is me giving away the poll right in front of you.
Mhm.
All right. Caleb Williams or Patrick Mahomes?
They're not going to be able to take away what Patrick Mahomes has done with the 2 Super
ahead.
Bowls. So I'm going
Go
to say
ahead.
Patrick
Run it up.
Mahomes, 68%.
I think I'm going to go opposite because I know how my brother works and he's going to set you up and then the second's going to happen. So you said Caleb Williams?
No, I said Patrick Mahomes.
Patrick, I'm going to say Caleb Williams.
You set me up over there?
8%.
Who would you have drafted out of college first? Caleb Williams, 31%.
Told you.
Patrick Mahomes, 69%.
Yeah. No, you're right.
Yeah.
Oh,
I don't know.
You're right. Maybe he only does
Dude,
that
it
to
was
what?
68 right when you said that, and someone voted right when you said it during the
Are you
Maybe
kidding
he
me?
only
Wait,
does that
so
to me.
Patrick Mahomes, 69%. Okay.
Caleb Williams, 31%.
Yeah, so you're right.
That's what I said. Okay.
Yeah, so they would have
I guess
drafted.
it's
confused.
No, you wouldn't have. You wouldn't have. You really wouldn't have, but that's fine. I digress.
I don't know.
I digress. He was
See
a
his
10th
combine?
pick, so.
He ran around and threw it really far. We appreciate you guys. Make sure you subscribe, share the show. Booster Club, fantastic calls. Great as usual. We got live calls again Friday. Got a great guest, Rusty Manziel, who just hit the transfer portal in the recruiting coverage game. It's going to come on. We're going to talk a little bit of recruiting and look forward to the 2023. God, we're in 2023 already. How we are just hurtling towards the apocalypse. Anyway, great show. I hope you guys have a great Wednesday. Make sure you check out that merch like I mentioned and everything else that comes along with the Daily Wire Plus. It is fantastic. Comment. And like the chances of Jordan Love being the next Aaron Rodgers, we're going, gone.